Thank you for attending our webinar. My name is Desmond Byrne. I work with RX Mobility. We're going to do a short webinar today about RX Mobility, and we're going to describe the benefits of it and talk to you about the feedback from some of the other PCCA members. This will be a short webinar. It'll take about 15 minutes, and if you have any questions, please type them in and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Quickly, RX Mobility is a program that can help improve the refill process and specifically helps very much with the lab's workflow. It reduces interruptions and decreases calls very significantly. So the program comprises 3 different parts. There's a mobile app that your patient downloads from free from the App Store, and that's branded for your pharmacy, your color, your logo, your content, your everything. That's connected into what's called a pharmacy portal. And the pharmacy portal, the analogy I would use is that it is similar to a type of a telephone, if you like, to make a phone call to patients. It enables you to actually communicate directly to the patient via the mobile app, and that portal in turn connects into PK Compounder RX software, and it's a very, very deep integration with PK Compounder software, and it helps a lot of things and a lot of workflows happen automatically, and I'll describe that in a couple of minutes. The actual benefits that we're getting back, that we hear back from members, include a significant reduction in call volume. Even in as little as 4 to 6 weeks, you start to see a tapering off of the number of calls coming into the pharmacy and the number of calls that you've got to make. Implemented fully, it helps to increase refills, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So it improves the whole refill process, and it helps improve the rate of refills so that they come in in a more timely manner, and actually helps revenue in that regard. It reduces interruptions, simplifies the lab's workflow, and improves patient compliance with their medications. And when you think about it, like, the first thing is it's a mobile app, and that's the thing that the patient sees is the mobile app. And from a patient perspective, what they see is something that's branded in your business pharmacy brand. It's free to download from the App Store. It contains information about the business, like directions, therapeutic categories that you're involved in, your phone number, Facebook, and so on and so forth. It includes things like dose reminders, so that the patient can self-service dose reminders using the app. It facilitates quick refills. It offers refill reminders, which are generated directly by PK Compounder RX. It enables the patient to stay informed about pharmacy events and promotions, and it gives the patient an immediate access to script history and script history updates. So instead of them having to call you to look at the script history or ask you about something, it's all there on the cell phone for them. So that's sort of the tool from a patient perspective. From a pharmacy perspective, though, it's a lot more than just that. It's really a mobile platform for the business. For example, refills submitted by the app, they get entered straight into your PK to-do list if you're using PK Compounder RX. Refill reminders are sent automatically, and refill reminders are sent automatically based on the day's supply in PK software. Patients are informed about script status automatically. Again, if you dispense the item, the patient gets a message that the item has been dispensed, no phone call necessary. And the patient's script history is on the phone, so they can just look at what the script status is and have a review of it. And the sum total of all of that is that there's less interruptions and less calls. Let's just have a quick look at what a refill screen would look like on the app. Again, this is from a patient perspective. They put in a script number, and they put in their date of birth. The date of birth is put in to validate that it's a real patient and it's a real script number. There's a variety of different scenarios which I'll talk about in a minute, but the app and PK talk together and they verify is it valid. And in this particular case, we're seeing that it's a valid script and that the order has been queued for processing, message has been sent to the patient, and therefore it's in your PK to-do list in the PK Compounder RX software. So the patient receives that message. And lastly, the script history is updated with the order being accepted, so that the patient can see that complete timeline. So that's how easy it is for a patient to actually submit a quick refill. And this particular screen itself, this refill screen, can be configured by you to match the processes that you have in your compounding pharmacy. So for example, if you have different delivery or pickup mechanisms, we can actually place them on this screen and you can have that information available to you. So there's a variety of different customizations that we can do on this particular screen to suit your workflow. That's what a quick refill looks like. And then when the refill comes into when the patient submits a refill, there's a couple of different scenarios that can occur. So one of the scenarios is that everything's valid. So the script number is valid, the date of birth is valid. And in that scenario, the refill is entered into the to-do list in PK software. The app is updated with additional patient and prescription information. And the patient is sent a message that your order has been queued for processing. So that's the scenario where everything just is correct and everything's valid in terms of the script. So that's one scenario. Another scenario is that the script number or the date of birth is invalid. In this particular scenario, the refill is not entered into the to-do lists in PK. No patient data is sent to the app by PK software, and the patient is sent a message that the order has been rejected, along with a reason as to why it's been rejected. And it can only be one of two reasons. It can either be that the date of birth is invalid or the script number is invalid, and PK wasn't able to match them. But there are scenarios where the refill needs to be checked by the pharmacist. You know, for example, if the patient, if the script number is valid and the actual date of birth is valid, and for example, that the patient is refilling too soon, for example. In that scenario, then, again, the refill is entered into the to-do list, the app is updated because it's viewed to be a valid script, and the patient is sent a relevant information about the script. And the message that the patient can see will be one of these four messages for one of these four scenarios. The prescription may have no expiration date, in which case the message will be that the order is being queued for processing, but PK will update you or will flag to you that the script has no expiration date. The second would be that the prescription has expired. And in this case, internally in PK, you'll get a note that the script is expired, and the patient will be sent a message that the prescription is expired, we'll contact your doctor. In the next scenario, the condition is that the prescription has no refills remaining. And again, there's an internal message that flags that there are no refills remaining that you see, but the patient themselves will see a message alert that the prescription has no refills remaining, we'll contact your doctor. And lastly, they could be refilling too soon, in which case you'll receive an early refill warning and the patient will be sent an alert that this refill is too soon, please contact your pharmacy. Now, all of this occurs automatically. It just occurs based on data in PK software. The patient doesn't need to call you. You don't need to phone the patient to verify things. This sort of handshaking and these messages actually occur automatically between the PK software and the patient's app. Couple of things just to highlight here, that the create the new from old script in PK updates the app automatically. So if there is if you have to update a script number and you do the create new from old command in PK, then the app will automatically update and retain that history for that individual patient. And the second thing to highlight is early is defined as being less than 80% of the day's supply. That's how we define early in this particular instance for the mobile app. Once the item is ready in the compounding lab, and typically that's somewhere between 24 hours and 5 days typically, then the message is sent to the patient that the script is ready, and this is sent at the point of validation. This is set up by PCCA when we integrate the app into your particular workflow. So again, that particular message is sent automatically. One of the really key benefits of RX Mobility relates to the whole refill reminder process. And this has very much been optimized for compounding So firstly, the refill reminder is sent to the patient based on the day's supply. So if the patient has a 30-day supply, then that's a start point. But also, what RX Mobility does is it nets out the lab and delivery lead time that we set for you. So when you set up the program, you'll pick a delivery and lab lead time. And typically it's somewhere between 2 and 5 days. And the refill reminder gets sent to the patient based on the day supply and PK minus that lead time. So that means that the reminder goes early to the patient. So when they press refill, when that reminder comes in, then it goes into your to-do list on time, or in fact in advance, commensurate with your lab lead time. And in the example here, day supply is 30 days, lab and delivery lead time is 4 days, then the reminder is sent on day 26. So out of the box, there's a couple of things you can do with RX Mobility. One of the key things is that it just upgrades your refill workflow. You can pretty much automatically, or initially start, you'll see a reduction in phone calls. All scripts coming in from RX Mobility from the app that are entered into PK software are flagged that they come from RX Mobility. And there's a little RX Mobility flag that is on the to-do list, that is on the script as well. There are also a variety of different reports you can run. Things like the log of scripts report, refill reminder, and data mining reports can all be run. So what you will notice about 4 to 6 weeks in, you will start to see phone calls trending down, and you will see the number of calls coming in from patients reducing as the app gets adopted by more and more patients. So, without having to do particularly anything in terms of the workflow and the business, then the app actually influences the whole refill workflow and simplifies the refill workflow and reduces the number of phone calls that you have to be making. And that happens sort of as a consequence of deploying the program. But there are other workflows that can be built or improved upon by using the RX Mobility. So for example, you can introduce a workflow to increase refills. And how we do that is that we send the refill reminder to the patient, obviously early, so it's aligned with your compounding lab lead time. But we also give you a report telling you what the status of that refill reminder is. So if the patient gets the reminder as a message and the patient presses refill, then it goes into your to-do list. But the patient ignores it, then what we're doing is we give you a report which tells you that the patient has ignored it. And furthermore, there are tools in there which enable you to escalate to those patients who have ignored the refill reminder. There is also the ability to market to patients. So you can send push messages to patients, things like marketing push messages about seminars or events or other things that you may be holding in the business. You can also set up a workflow which highlights script related issues. So maybe you want to send a tracking number for a script or for a prescription, or maybe you will have a delay in a chemical and you want to advise the patient that there's been a delay, so you can implement those. There's also website refill components to this, and then analytics as well. So which brings me to the reasons that members buy the program. I mean, the first one is it reduces inbound and outbound call volume very significantly. And how does it do this? Well, it lowers the number of refill reminder calls that you have to make. There's less calls coming in from patients as the app contains their script history, and then there's automatic status updates between you and the patient. So if it gets dispensed, then the patient receives a message that the item has been dispensed. The impact on that is pretty significant. Our calculations are that about 100 refill calls take about 800 minutes to deliver. Now that's pretty significant, and I think that's not atypical in the compounding pharmacy world, to be doing 100 calls, say in a month or in a couple, or even in a week. And 100 calls in a week, that's nearly 2 days worth of effort for somebody to do. So that's a lot of time. Also, it reduces the number of interruptions coming in. I mean, one of the things I've noticed in pharmacy workflows is it's very much an interruption-based workflow. And if you can reduce those interruptions, that significantly helps the lab. Everything from, just getting throughput, productivity, through to reducing dispensing errors. And that brings you to the point of overall a better workflow is possible in the lab by eliminating these type of interruptions. The second reason that people buy RX Mobility relate to increasing the refills. And again, how does this occur? Well, automatic refill reminders are sent to the patient based on the day supply and PK minus the lab lead time. You also get refill reminder reports, and you can create a refill reminder escalation from within the pharmacy portal. And the impact of that is very significant. What we see is that on average, across all of the membership, that refills are delayed by on average 3 days. And we've got an analysis behind that. But if you take the average and number of days that you can improve the refill process by, it's by about 3 days. That equates to about 7% of your refill revenue. In other words, if you're doing $1 million on refill annually, you're looking at improving your top line in terms of refills by about $70,000. That's best case. But even if you're to get halfway there, it's $35,000 in terms of improvement on refills. So that is possible. That's the second reason that people buy the program. The third reason relates to lab interruptions and simplifying the workflow. How does this happen? Well, there's less calls, check things up. There's PK generated messages and reminders, and you're using the PK to-do list. And the impact of that is pretty significant because it helps reduce interruptions, reduce errors, and basically insulates your pharmacy staff from interruptions. And there's a lot of statistics about errors that can creep in if there's a lot of interruptions in a pharmacy environment. But some of the studies I've been looking at there was a detailed analysis of a 500-bed hospital pharmacy, and they were finding that on average the pharmacist was being interrupted 15 times an hour for an average of 61 seconds per interruption. And they also were able to determine that dispensing errors increased by a factor of 2 when the pharmacist was being interrupted when they were dispensing. So reducing those interruptions is a significant factor. And lastly, the other thing reason that people look at the program relates to direct patient marketing. So in here there is a facility to send marketing and educational messages to everybody that's downloaded the app. Anyone who's downloaded your version of this app, they are your best, most intimate patients. So you can actually retarget to them and send them messages about a webinar, a seminar, an event, special offers, whatever you want. And you can retarget patients. You can integrate a button into these messages and bring them to a questionnaire or bring them to your website. The impact of this, well, approximately over 50% of compounding revenue comes from refills. Again, that's across the PCCA membership. And these patients are a key demand creator for your pharmacy. Does a BHRT patient have children? Do they have pets? Can you cross-market to them? And that's one of the another one of the top 4 reasons why people buy the program. One of the key things about the program that's really important is about promoting the app. Patients have to understand that it exists. They have to understand the value proposition, what's in it for them. And to that end, we've created a media kit to support the promotion of the tool. And indeed, it supports the promotion of the pharmacy as a whole. It comprises a variety of materials, including in-store and print materials, materials for your website, and also social channels. And in conjunction with that, there's a 90-day promotion plan that we give you, and you can pick and choose various elements of this plan, but it's a best practices plan for promoting your business using digital tools and for promoting your app within the pharmacy. But it's a 90-day plan, and it comprises 3 primary steps. including setting up and testing with a small number of users, expanding the audience to attract new customers, and indeed, using paid promotion to attract exactly the type of new customer you want. So it moves beyond marketing the app and more about marketing to new types of customers that you want in your pharmacy. So to give you an overview of the price for this, so what you get for this program price is branded mobile apps available to download from Apple and Google Play, web refill form, marketing push message module, training materials, customized branded materials including videos, digital marketing in-store promotion plan, and PK compounder integration. So the price of that is PK needs a one-time upgrade, which is $1,000 just once off, and then it's $249 a month per store. And we do ask for a 12-month commitment. But what we do find is that about 3 or 4 months in, that your patients will start using it, and you will really get benefit out of it. So there's a lot of support information that I will send as part of this. We have some videos on our YouTube channel. Just go to RxMobility on YouTube. There's a channel along with educational content, training materials, a whole pile of stuff on YouTube. There's our website, which is rxmobilityapp.com. Thank you very much for joining us today. I appreciate your time.